What if I told you that it's possible to be debt free in under just 1 year with simple tips? An average household credit card debt is over 1 lakh. Being debt free reduces stress and will create financial opportunities. Hi, I'm Swetha, your financial freedom coach with experience in helping people to become debt free. In this video, let's understand about the credit card debt. I'll be walking you through what is the debit card debt, how does credit card interest work, why do people get stuck in credit card debt, psychological and emotional impact of debt, consequences of ignoring debt, the 5 simple tips to eliminate debt, pay more than the minimum, consolidate debt strategy, negotiate lower interest rates, staying debt free, bonus tip, side hustles to pay off debt faster, and the conclusion. So, what is credit card debt? Money borrowed through a credit card that you are required to pay back. You're borrowing with some interest rate and you're paying back with the principal and the interest. How does credit card interest work? The key concept is the compound interest. Interest is charged not only on the principal but also on unpaid interest. Example, if you owe 50,000 at 20% annual interest and don't pay it off, your debt will grow significantly over time. Minimum payment trap. Paying online minimum example 1000 allows interest to keep accumulating on the unpaid balance. This is how the credit card interest works. Why do people get stuck in credit card debt? So why do people get stuck is because the high interest rate, minimum payment illusion, impulse purchases, unawareness of the total debt. High interest rates, often 18 to 36%, make it difficult to pay off quickly. The minimum payment illusion gives a false sense of progress but prolongs debt. Impulse purchases. Credit card makes spending feel easy, leading to overspending. That leads to overspending. Unawareness of total debt. People often underestimate how much they owe or the time it takes to pay it off. The next is psychological and emotional impact of debt. Stress and anxiety, shame or guilt, sense of trapped lifestyle. Stress and anxiety, constant worry about how to pay off debt. There's that too. Constant worry about how to pay off debt. Shame or guilt. Feeling bad about financial mistakes or lack of progress. Sense of trapped lifestyle. Limited financial freedom and opportunities. Example, inability to save or invest. So you're not able to save also, you're not able to invest also. A lot of worries also that you are having. So you are trapped somewhere in the lifestyle. Limited financial freedom and consequences of ignoring debt. What are the consequences of ignoring debt? Debt accumulation. If you ignore, the debt keeps accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. Credit score damage. Your credit score will be damaged. Financial strain. You'll have a lot of strain on the finance. Debt accumulation, interest grows and debt spirals out of control. It spirals out of control. A credit score damage. Late or missed payments hurt your credit score, limiting future borrowing ability. Financial strain. Limited ability to meet other important financial goals. Example, savings for emergencies, buying a house. The 5 simple tips to eliminate debt. Track your spending. Create a budget. So why do you have to track your spending? Because you can't fix what you don't measure. So how can you track your spending? By using apps like Mint, Know Your Budget, Winamp, or a notebook to track every expense. Example, break spending into categories: food, rent, subscriptions, and find unnecessary expenses to cut back on. So the key takeaway is small expenses add up. Cutting them saves money we can put toward debt. Create a budget. Why create a budget? Why? Why you want to create a budget? Because it gives you control over your money. So how can you create a budget? By using 50 30 20 rule. Example, if you earn 50,000 per month, allocate 25% for needs. Means 25,000 for needs. That is called as 50%. And 30 means 50,000 of 30% is 15,000 for wants. And the rest 20% goes for your debt and savings. This is how you create a budget. Pay more than the minimum. So, why do you have to pay more than the minimum? Paying only the minimum keeps you in debt longer and costs more in interest. You have to keep paying for the longer time. Correct. So, pay more than the minimum. How can you do that? Pay extra whenever possible. Use money saved from cutting unnecessary expenses. Example, instead of paying the 1,000 minimum, pay 5,000. Use a visual. Compare how quickly a debt shrinks when you pay extra. Consolidate debt strategically. Consolidating debt can reduce interest and make payments easier. Transfer your balance to 0% interest credit card or take a personal loan with a lower interest rate to pay off the credit card debt. Example, transfer 50,000 to a 0% interest card for 18 months to avoid high interest fees. So the warning is, watch out the transfer fees or hidden conditions. There will be transfer fees, hidden conditions, hidden charges, and all. Negotiate lower interest rates. Even a small reduction in your interest rate can save you money. Even if you save 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees per day, you're saving around 20 to 30,000 in a month. You can use that savings for some other growth investments. Negotiate for the lower interest rate. So, how can you negotiate? Call your credit card company and ask for a rate reduction. Use a script. This is how the script is. Hi, I have been your loyal customer for 15 years. Can you lower my interest rate? If they agree, fine. If they do not agree, transfer to some other company where they can give a still lesser interest rate. Staying debt free. How can you stay debt free? Build an emergency fund. So you don't need credit cards in emergencies. Open an SIP, an RD or FD something. I would suggest SIP because SIP will give you more interest. Keep it for 1 year, let the money keep flowing there, so that can you can utilize that money for the emergencies. Avoid impulsive spending by waiting 24 hours before making non-essential purchases. Regularly review your finances every 3 months to stay on track. Staying debt free is a habit that pays off in the long term. The bonus tip: side hustles to pay off debt faster. Earning extra income accelerates debt repayment. How the side hustle can pay off your debt faster. Example, freelancing, writing, graphic design. If you have any skills in this, writing, graphic design, and if it is your passion, please take a side job, work as a freelancer. Selling unused items online. If you have any old clothes or electronics items which is very costlier and you are not using it, sell it off online. You can save some money in that. Tutoring or teaching skills online. If your passion is teaching, teach for kids, or maybe any of your passion codes, whatever the skill you have, start teaching. Monetizing hobbies. Example, baking, crafting, or starting a YouTube channel. This is how you can use the side hustle to pay off your debt faster. An example, this is a real example. One of my clients, she sold handmade jewelry and she earned 20,000 in a month, using it to clear her credit card balance. She used to normally spend 40 to 50,000 on a credit card balance. She was working in a company, but still having children's and maintaining a family, she couldn't clear that debt easily. She started side business by making handmade jewelry and she started selling that and earned 20,000 in a month. So this is the side hustle to pay off the debt faster. So the conclusion is, we'll recap all the 5 tips now. Track your spending, create a budget, pay more than the minimum, consolidate debt strategically, negotiate lower interest rates. So the bonus tip is nothing but the side hustle. or a game changes. Call to action today. This is for everyone. Today, take 10 minutes of your time. Sit down somewhere in a lonely place or anywhere, wherever you feel satisfied. Sit down and write out all your credit card balances. What are the interest rates you are paying? What are the minimum payments? You need to know where you stand before you can make progress. So, write down all these things. If you like my video, please like it, share with others, let them also gain some knowledge. Subscribe to my channel so that you can keep watching more videos. If you need more guidance, check out my free webinar on transforming your finances. It's linked in the description. Also, a kind request is comment below if you have taken your first step. I would love to cheer you on. Bye for now.